Have you ever been told to treat your husband like Jesus would? What would Jesus do? You need to be Christ-like when it comes to your husband if you want him to change. I did that, and it didn't go so well for me. Coming up next. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maritza, and I'm so excited to be here. And I have to communicate this with you guys because I've received comments over the past 2 years or more about treating my husband like Jesus, like Christ would. And it's like, people, this is exactly how I started my marriage. I approached my marriage, and the question that I always ask myself is, what would Jesus do? When I approached my husband, before I even knew he was a narcissist, I would always be appreciative. I was very submissive. We were being counseled in church, our leaders and things like that. So the first approach was being Christ-like. So when people come and tell me in the comments, letting me know like, oh, maybe, you need to pray for him and you need to love him like Jesus and be forgiving and be loving. And it's like, people, I have done that and it never worked. It backfired, dude. It backfired. How did it backfire? Because I understood something. Narcissists are entitled people. When you treat them like Jesus, with the love of God, they feel that they're entitled to that already. They feel like they're entitled to their wives being appreciative. You need to be appreciative, that I work so hard. You need to, love me. And I'm the man of the household. That's how they feel. Their ego is so big that I realized later on that loving him like God would, okay, being that example, being the bigger person, being submissive, being quiet about things, I was enabling him. I was enabling his narcissistic behaviors. I was enabling how he was treating me. The silence, silencing me, belittling me, humiliating me, the competition, the sense of competition, like I make more money than you do. I mean, it was horrible. So the more I loved him like Jesus loved people, the more I felt the hate, the more the manipulation, the control, because I was allowing myself to be so submissive that that's exactly what he needed to control me. He needed me to be quiet. He needed me to... A narcissist wants to manipulate you. So what does he need? What does he need to manipulate you? He needs you to be submissive to his manipulation tactics. So who's the one suffering? Me. I was the one suffering the entire time. So it was actually hurting me more. So what did I do? I changed my approach. I realized that if he's already entitled, and if he's already thinking that he's the boss, okay, I'm going to make him feel like he's the boss, but I am going to let him know what I think. And how is that? What helped me was refraining from attacking him. I no longer attacked him. I no longer approached him with, for example, we're talking about money. We're talking about our finances, right? Okay, great. He wants to be in charge, right? He wants to be in charge. He wants to control everything. He wants to control the money, how the money's spent, and where it goes, right? I already know this. I already know this information, right? So what do I do? What did I do? I said, oh my God, that's so great. I feed his ego. I feed his sense of bossness. That's not a word, but I fed that, and I said, you know what, it's true. Oh my God, I do think that we should budget that way. But you know what? We can't forget that we have to pay this and we have to save this because we have to save for this because it's coming up in April. He would be like, oh man, that's right. Make him think that it's his idea. It's like, oh my God, yeah, we need to, it's insane. But it's a play with your words, and we cannot attack our husbands. And that's one thing that we need to remain Christ-like, where we're not attacking him. We're not telling him things, but we're also not staying quiet. And we're also not allowing them to silence us and our needs. For example, he says, oh, I don't have time for myself. Rather than saying, well, I don't have time either. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I work from home. I cook, I clean, I do everything. And on top of that, I'm teaching the kids 24/7. I have them at home, right? But instead of saying that, I say something like, oh my God, you know what? We haven't had time for each other either. And you know what? I would love to have, at least 20 minutes to myself. What do you want to do? What do you want to do on your spare time? Well, if we start a dialogue, he'll be like, oh, well, I want to go and play soccer. Oh, okay, great. And what do you think I should do? Oh, he's like, and then he gives me an idea. He says, you know what? You should go and buy yourself a book or go for a drive. Oh, you know what? That's true. Maybe I should go to Starbucks. Oh, yeah, that's right. But my approach is different. My approach has changed. I'm no longer attacking him or bringing up an attack and saying, well, I need free time too. I need a break. We change our approach. We change that approach. We flip it around and say, you know what? Yeah. What should you do? Oh, what do you think I should do? I don't know. Even if you know what you want to do on your spare time or when you have me time. So, and then another thing that I've done is that, for example, if I really want to get my nails done or my hair done, and he's very frugal about it, one of the things that has worked for me is I try to communicate how beautiful I feel after I get my hair done. Or, oh my God, I feel so beautiful. And it does make me happy. And I act extra sweet with him. And I try to serve him even more than what I do. That way he can notice my cheerfulness, and the result of me being pampered is positive. So he gets something out of it. Remember, narcissists are very selfish. They want, but they don't have the bandwidth to give. They're not givers. They're not empathic. So when for my husband, when he has noticed that I'm extra happy and extra when it comes to like serving him or doing what he likes that. So he wants the what? He sees that as a reward. I call it the reward system. He sees that as a reward because he's getting attention and he's getting the happy wife and the exciting wife and all that. And it actually, that reward system, which it's funny because I started calling that cycle, the reward system about 3 years ago, where he does get something out of me feeling pretty, feeling beautiful. So as a result, he gets what he wants and I get my needs met, whether it's just to have some time, have a break, or go do my hair, I don't know, manicure, pedicure, going to buy a dress, whatever the case may be. It could be something minimal. But we both, although it's very superficial, and I understand that our relationship sometimes is superficial. And what I mean by superficial is that there is no deep insight sometimes. There is no deep connection and an exchange of emotional, what we feel, and we get into the feelings and how he feels, and we don't get into that much. I've noticed that we have more conversations, and the more I put forth an effort to make it so that we have things in common, the more we can actually have peace and the more we can relate to each other. And building common ground has been very helpful. He's ambitious and I'm ambitious, and we talk about those ambitions. We're a team. We can do this together. I'm here to help you. I'm here to support you. And we have to support each other. And it's this very team environment that I'm trying to create within my marriage that has helped us be happier and be more at peace with each other and our home. Oh my God, it makes such a big difference. So has that been your experience? What have you received? Like, how have you been Christ-like with your husband, and how has that worked? And one of the things that I do want to mention is that we should never be Christ-like to get results. I believe that's very selfish. But at the same time, we must take into consideration that our happiness matters, that our joy matters. Your joy and your happiness matters. Your passions matter. And when your emotional needs are not being met, that is a problem, because you are a human being and you have a right as a wife, you have a right to have your emotional needs met. The husband has to love his wife like Jesus loved the church. And what kind of love was that? That was completely sacrificial. The way that Jesus loves the church is sacrificial. And maybe your husband may not understand that. He may not understand that he needs to make the greatest sacrifice in the relationship because of the narcissistic cloud that lingers over him. But we must continue to pray. We need to pray for them. But most importantly, don't forget about you. You as a woman of faith, don't forget about you. You are important. You matter. You are enough. You are beautiful. You are smart. You are worth it. So guys, thank you so much for listening. Tune in for the next video. Subscribe, hit the like button, and ring the bell. God bless you. See you soon.